You're listening to a Rock Candy podcast.
Hey, I'm Andrew.
And I'm John.
Our show, Magnified Pod, is the only podcast that discusses culture, religion, politics, and deep dives into the discographies of the bands that shaped a generation of 90s youth group kids.
We share our thoughts on the Christian bookstore alternate universe scene we grew up in, our changing religious views, and the alternative music that formed us, going through albums track by track.
We've also interviewed band members, producers, filmmakers, and artists, and had fascinating, profound, and silly conversations along the way.
Check out Magnified Pod on the Rock Candy Podcast Network and wherever you get your podcasts.
Hey everybody, this is Reese Roper, one of your hosts here at Joe and Reese's Pickle and Boot Shop, a diabolical brainwashing chain. This is an episode that I recorded back in April, which went up for our Patreons, but not for everybody else. And I wanted to share it with everybody because it's magnificent. Not because of me, but because I'm interviewing my best friend in the world, Keith Hoerig, the former bass player of Five Iron Frenzy. And it sounds good because he's talking to me. The rest of it, the part where I'm talking, is dumb. Joe can't be here this week because he's up north, hanging out with dudes. Okay, see you guys. See you later, Felicia.
Joe and Reese, get yourself a pickle, get yourself a boot. Joe and Reese, pickle time is happening. Pickle time. I go down to get some pickles.
With your grandma and your kids.
I go downtown.
With your grandma and your kids.
Boot time. Pickle and boot time. Don't be fickle, get your pickle cider, pop a nickel in your boots. Not a place of ill repute. Bring your grandma and your kids. Come for the pickles, stay for the squids.
Pickle and boot shop.
Stay for the squids.
Yeah, pickle time.
Put that pickle in your pants. Get some booze inside your hands. Put that pickle in your pants. Get some booze inside your hands.
1996, we start this.
All right.
Okay,
What's up?
dude. This is amazing. This is good to see you. It's
Good to see you as well.
Yeah, dude, I'm having my dad was sick, right?
I do.
So this morning, Shay and I decided to move him to hospice.
Oh my gosh, dude.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry.
Thanks, man. But I was like, all I want to do is talk to Keith. Like, I don't want to. If I don't, I'm gonna walk around and be sad and think about it, and I can't fix it.
I understand that. But if you need to reschedule, we can reschedule.
No,
Okay.
no, man. I didn't mean to bum you out. I was gonna try
I'm not
and
bummed
avoid
out, dude. I'm
talking
really
about it.
no. That's so. I'm so sorry. I know you've gone through a lot.
Yeah. You know what it's like? You lost your mom.
Yeah. Yeah. You were there. Thank you.
I'm still bummed out. Like, I still miss your mom.
Yeah.
So.
And that was it. It was a while ago, and
How
obviously,
long ago was that?
I feel like it was 2005 or 2006. I honestly don't remember.
Yeah.
But I guess it does get better, I guess, but I know that's not. Yeah.
I know. I get. It's just. Yeah. It just sucks. Hey, Aaron.
Reset high. She says hi.
I heard it.
Nice.
Hey, so you sent me a bunch of stuff you wanted to talk about.
Well, I don't know. We can talk about anything.
Well, there's so much to cover.
There's a lot.
It's insane. So, and then at the end, if you want to tell me to edit anything out, I will.
I'll try and make sure that I don't say anything that I feel needs to be edited.
Yeah. The first couple episodes, I tried to censor myself. Like, I would go back in and mute out all my swear words. And then I just started leaving them in.
Right.
And My mom was pretty upset because she started listening to it. She's like, "Oh, you have a podcast," and I'm just like, "Oh no." We had a lot of discussions about it, and then before she passed, she was like, "Reese, this is what I want you to do. I want you to record me saying potty mouth." And
And every time.
when you say a bad word, I want you to put that over it. So I did it. I did
That's
it
awesome.
for the last episode that she listened to, and it was really funny.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So, yeah, this is shit. This is heaviness. We just started with. Let's talk about how. So this is my first time interviewing anyone. Joe usually does it because Joe is extremely funny and gregarious. So he does great. Have you listened to the podcast at all?
I have. I listened to a couple episodes. I listened to all 3 of the top 20 albums.
That's right. It's ridiculous. Like that is a ridiculous amount of narcissism to just be
Well,
like,
no,
hey,
so-
these are my
I mean-
favorites.
You know that's the kind of show that I liked a lot because I'm like, oh yeah, 20 favorite albums. This is freaking awesome.
Okay.
So yeah, I like that. But as far as I can tell, the general layout of the show goes like this. First, we have to talk about some gross food, right? Then we talk about butts or something like that, or poop.
So talk
Right?
about what's going on. Like if
Sure.
if Joe fell off the roof while he was roofing,
Right.
that kind of stuff.
So there it is. There it is. Show done.
Show done.
Show done. We're done.
Usually we have stuff to talk about, and it ends up just us devolving into gross stories or talking about the same stories from the road.
Right.
So
I was trying really hard, since I know Joe is a co-host, I was trying really hard to think of stories from the Scamania tour. And,
we toured with those guys twice. We toured.
what was the other one?
The Holy Roller Tour.
Oh, yes, that's right.
So he's got some good stories about that we should discuss. We should confirm or deny what happened. But first, I want to talk about how we met. What is your recollection of this?
How do I? I think it would have been 1986, 87.
Okay.
And
I think it was before that.
was it earlier than that?
Well, so I remember knowing you for 8th grade. And I think I met this summer before I went to Catholic school. Did you know me in Catholic school? Do you remember
No,
that
I
being
don't
a
think.
thing?
No, you were in public school, I think, when I met you. So I remember. I think I was about to become a freshman.
Okay, that would have been because I was a year behind you, so I would have been 8th grade. So it was this summer before 8th grade, which was 86.
86. Okay.
Sound right? I mean, close enough.
Yes, that's close enough.
And what happened to your
So-
recollection?
So I had been going to this church that had a cool youth group, and that was the main reason that I was still going, because my mom kind of was like, I want you to go to church, but when you're old enough to stay home alone, you don't have to go to church anymore.
Yeah.
And so I started going to this church, and I got involved with their youth group, and I liked the youth group, and so because of that, I was continuing to go to the church, and the church didn't own its own building, so they rented space in different locations, and the kids, the youth group, went and met in this house that somebody had probably donated. It was probably a member of the church, and
Yeah.
And so there was this.
It was a
Sunday-
house.
Yeah,
like
it was a house.
little house.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And so it was a Sunday, so it was like Sunday school, and the youth group went, and we had Sunday school, and I remember that I met you. I don't remember what we talked about. Was that when we talked about hot wiring trailer or tractors? Or was that
No,
later?
Later, you did hotwire a tractor.
Well, I got
That
the
was
engine to
next to
turn
this
over.
place.
I got the engine to turn over. I'm not sure. I didn't start it. And
Well-
it wasn't hard to hotwire. It's not like I mean, there were 2 wires hanging out of the ignition where the key would go, and I touched them together,
Yeah.
thinking that it might start the tractor, and it kind of did.
You
But
just climbed in this tractor, and we're like looking around, horsing around in there, and you're like, "Hey, what do these wires do?" And you knew exactly what they do. That's the thing.
well, yeah, I mean, I had a feeling what might happen,
and then
but
you,
I didn't
you were,
start the
like,
tractor.
cranking it over. Yeah.
So no, it wasn't tractor day. So then, other than the fact that it was Sunday school at this weird house in like kind of Aurora, not quite Aurora. I don't remember much else.
I remember how we bonded because we were talking about a member of our youth group, Melissa Evans, who was hot. And we both go, dang. And I go, I wish I had, and you go, shoe mirrors. And we said it at the same time. And we were just like, what? You know of Pee Wee Herman too?
Right?
Like,
Pee Wee Herman.
Is that right?
Yeah, that sounds right. Pee Wee
We were
Herman.
just like instant, like, you're my new best friend.
Right?
You-
Pee Wee Herman. And then later on, heavy metal.
So I wasn't even I wasn't not into heavy metal. You brought me into this.
You know, I probably wasn't either when we first met. I mean, 86, I don't know what I was into.
Well, so much of my love of music came from knowing you, because you were well established. Like, you had a stereo, you had albums, you had bands you liked. You know, you were into REM. I remember.
REM's first record is awesome, man.
Yeah, but then you always had some weird bands that you were into, like the Toy Dolls, or
Oh, yeah.
yeah, or like you were early fan of Dead Milkmen. But then, like, as far as Christian music, you had tons of stuff, and you kind of pushed me into it, because I had just been like, I think we had Unguarded by Amy Grant, and then my sister had Thriller and Janet Jackson's album, and I had, like, I want to say the Top Gun soundtrack, and then this band called Boys Don't Cry. I had cassettes of it. The band that made
Oh, yeah.
I Want to Be a Cowboy.
I want to be a cowboy, yeah.
And then
I've got a 12-inch single of that.
Do you?
Oh, yeah.
Dude,
Yeah, of course I've got a 12-inch single of I Want to Be a Cowboy by Boys Don't Cry.
I want that. Dude, that album, I listened to it the other day because it was up on Apple Music. One, it was a literal 8-track. Like, it has 8 songs, but they're
nice.
all good. I remembered it just being like, I thought this album was so good, but it was like one of the first albums I owned. I think
I haven't heard the full length, but
it's good. You should listen to it.
I'll check it out.
Yeah. But like, so you would make tapes, like mixtapes for me, and we would walk from my house somehow to that Bible bookstore that was down on Monaco.
Monaco and
That
Evans.
had to be like 5 miles each way. How far was that?
I don't know. I can Google Maps it.
I know.
Let me type it
From-
in.
So then I lived on
Was that like Yosemite and
Gerard
Hamden?
Street. Yeah, Yosemite and Hampton, like Gerard Street.
I'm going to type in Yosemite and Hamden. And I'm just going to do Google Maps to Monaco and Evans. This is boring for people who don't live in
Okay.
Denver. If you don't live in Denver, you don't know what we're talking
Hey,
about.
fuck them.
Monaco and Evans, because Denver rules.
Yeah, and like you, like many people that own a house there, you're a millionaire now. That's great.
Good
Keith.
Lord, it's disgusting what's going on with like housing everywhere. But Denver is nuts. It's wrong. I mean, it's not sustainable. So according to Google Maps, from the Ace Car Wash at Hamden and Yosemite to the Perfect Teeth at Monaco and Evans, walking is 2.9 miles.
Okay, so not quite 5 miles. Close. Let's round up. Say 3.
6
I
miles. sure.
remember going in a blizzard. We got to stay home from school. Do you remember that? Like trekking through like waist deep snow on the bike path.
to go and buy like Believer's record or something. Believer's second record. No, that was no. I don't. I remember walking through the snow when we lived over in Aurora to go snowboarding down the side of the reservoir. But oh, I think I lost you. Oh no, you're there.
I hear you.
Okay.
So we walked to go snowboarding down the Cherry Creek Dam.
Yes, I remember that.
What is the story behind that?
It was like you said, it was a day off of school. I don't think it was a weekend. I think we had a snow day. And I think we had your snowboard, one snowboard between the two of us, probably.
Okay.
And I'm not sure I'm not sure either of us had actually ever gone snowboarding. You bought the board, hoping to go start snowboarding that season. And it was
Yeah.
like our first big snow. And we walked down. So we lived in Aurora, but we walked just to the other side of the Aurora city limits into Arapahoe County territory, I guess.
Yeah.
And there's this big reservoir, and we walked across the road at the top of the reservoir, which nobody was on because of the snow, and it was closed. And we took turns snowboarding down the side of it, kind of, and falling a lot. And then an Arapahoe County sheriff in a 4-wheel drive vehicle who was not happy
Could see us for miles. Like all of Southeast Denver and Aurora could see like somebody's up there screwing around.
Yeah, I mean, so the side that we were snowboarding down is covered in grass and snow, but it also eventually, I mean, if you were to go all the way to the bottom and then across a long flat part, you'd hit Interstate 225. I mean, it's so I mean, it was visible for sure. But so yeah, this Arapahoe County sheriff in a 4-wheel drive vehicle drove across the damn road, came out to us, and made us come up there. And he took our names, but he was like, "I'll let you off with just a warning," and he did. So we walked home.
What is he gonna do? Give us a ticket for snowboarding?
Trespassing
Come
ticket for like we trespassed where nobody else was able to be. Nobody else wanted to be there.
on. Right. He was just like, I'm tired of fielding phone calls for this. Like,
Did he say that?
No, I'm sure that's what he was thinking. Like, we got another one. More people are calling about those two dipshits up there. So that was awesome.
Anyway, I think I mixed up our stories though.
Well, no. That's a good story. I had so much stuff I wanted to talk about. You said you wanted to talk about the great snowboarding incident, which
is not that one.
okay, what is that one?
The great snowboarding incident is so somehow, and it's lost in the fog of memory. But so I want to say it was 1990. Snowboarding was, a young sport still.
It was young.
And yes, and I believe Martin Luther King Day. I think it probably was. Does that sound right to you? Sounds right.
Yes.
Okay. Cool. So we had
Yes,
the day
I did
off
a
of
Black Power salute.
Yeah. So it's Sunday, and we're at this church that we met at, and you're like, "Let's go snowboarding tomorrow. We have the day off of school. Let's go snowboarding." And I'm like, that sounds like an okay idea. Neither of us have cars. Neither of us have driver's licenses. I think you were like, "Let's take the ski train," which I don't even know if that even exists anymore.
They just started it again, I think.
Did they? Okay,
I think
cool.
it quit for a while, but now it's like it was expensive, and now everybody that lives in Colorado is a millionaire, so they don't care.
I mean, so let's just back up a little bit. The problem with owning a house that is supposedly worth a lot of money is that if you want to sell it and stay in the same metro area that you live in, your house isn't worth any money.
And right. The key is staying in the same metro area.
Right. If I wanted to move to like rural Ohio, if we were like, let's go live in like, I don't know, Indiana, then we'd probably be doing pretty good. But
You'd be doing great. You'd be doing
Yeah.
great out here.
Sure, but yeah, if you want to stay in the Denver metro area, then yeah, it's not.
Yeah. Also, if you sell it, like if your wife is like, "Hey, I want to move to say Virginia to be near her folks," and she talks you into selling the house instead of renting it out because you're like, "This is gonna blow up. Let's rent it out." Don't bring it up again. Okay.
You're speaking from experience here.
Yeah, that's some advice I have.
All right. Well, I don't think we're looking to move, but anyway, so what we were talking about the great snowboarding incident of 1990.
Of 1990. Yes.
Yes. Okay. So Martin Luther King Day. So we don't have cars. We don't have money. We have one snowboard. I need to rent a snowboard somehow.
Yeah. That's because this dumb shit that you're talking to here bought a snowboard before he knew how to snowboard. Like I was just like, I'm gonna do this.
You were excited, yeah, and it meant that you were going to learn how to do it, and you did.
Yeah.
So anyway, so I'm like, okay, I don't know how we're going to make this happen, but let me go ask my mom if I can go snowboarding. And this is where the things where we're going to have probably different versions of the story because I went and asked my mom, and my mom was kind of like asking me the same questions that I just brought up. How are you going to get there? Do you have money? And she was basically like, I don't think so. And so I was like,
very smart lady.
So I was like, no.
Had a master's degree in psychology. She's a very smart lady.
So anyway, I was like, no, Reese, I don't think it's going to work out this time. Well, that was basically the incident, because as I remember, your argument was that I should have been trying harder to convince my mom to let us to go.
I do remember.
And so for years we had this ongoing fake fun like argument going on about who should have done what in this situation, and it culminated with probably in like 1997 or so almost a decade later. I wrote a contract, and I said that everything that I said about it was wrong, everything you said about it was right, whatever you said was correct, and I signed and dated it. And for a long time, you carried it in your wallet.
I remember this, and it was only you didn't sign it because you were like agreeing to it. There was something else, like you lost a bet or something else.
Did I lose a bet? I probably lost a bet.
And it had to be done.
So I lost a bet, and that was the
Terrible.
losing.
I can't believe the abuse you put up.
I probably lost a game of full contact tennis.
Oh, that's okay. For the listeners, we should describe full contact tennis. Was it? No, we called it no holds barred tennis.
No, I
didn't
thought we called it full contact tennis.
Okay, maybe. Okay.
I don't know. Maybe it's no holds barred.
It was no holds barred, but full contact tennis. Describe it.
I mean, you can jump in here too if you want. But so this was when I was living across an alley from you in Aurora.
Yeah. Hey, let's talk about that, because holy fucking hell, that was serendipitous. Sorry
was cool.
for my swearing, but
Why?
Because we were best friends. I remember riding my bike down to see you to go to your house like on a Sunday or a Saturday, and it was a good 20 miles. Like you lived down near what's that mall now?
Park Meadows Mall.
Park Meadows. You live right next to where that is.
Yeah.
Now.
So I grew up in an extreme southern suburb that now is much more populated than it was back then. Back then it was almost the country. It was like basically as far south as you could go and be in the metro area. You lived in Southeast Denver, or then you moved to South Aurora.
Right.
So you lived, like you said, probably 17, 20 miles north of where I lived at that time.
Yeah.
And when I graduated from high school in 1990, we had to move because of like stuff between my mom and my dad with a divorce settlement.
You were still in high school, weren't you?
So I think that it happened as soon as possible after I graduated. Maybe I was still in high school. Because you're right. After my high school graduation, we had a party at the new place.
Yeah, there was like 3 years that you were there that I was still in high school.
Huh. So maybe I was still in high school.
Yeah.
Huh.
Which is strange because you were still in Cherry Creek School District, but out of Cherry Creek High School.
Right. So I feel like I moved right, like immediately after I graduated, but I'm not sure. Anyway, so we had to move. We were looking for places to live, and at the time, you and I both were working for a carpet cleaning company, and because of that, I got to know a lot of the city of Denver and different places that might meet our needs, basically.
Yeah.
And so
also like where hookers live.
Well, yes,
there's a lot of that.
There was some of that. There was crackheads, and there was there was stuff like that. But I mean, cleaning carpets was an adventure. But and Reese and I we both worked there for a long time. But anyway, because of that, I knew that the neighborhood that you lived in, or that you had just moved to, was a pretty cool neighborhood, and I knew that the housing there would work out for us. And our real estate agent at the time was a guy who went to our church named Walt. And
Walt Stoll.
Yeah, I didn't remember his last name, but yes. So I think that we had talked to Walt, and we were looking for a place for separate bedrooms for my mom, my sister, and myself, so a 3-bedroom place. And I was like, well, what about in the subdivision that you live in? And he's like, well, let me look. And he was like, yeah, it turns out there's one. And it turned out that it was literally across the alley from where you live. So our bedroom windows kind of faced each other.
Right. It was not straight across. It was like one over and
diagonal across.
So I could show you my penis.
Well, and thankfully you did not.
I know.
At least not out your window.
No.
Well, and
other
also,
times, yes.
I think when you say that like our bedroom windows faced each other through an alley, it's not like it's some inner city alley where you can like reach out and touch. Like, I mean, it's there was like our house, then our garage, then an alley, then your garage, then your house. And so
Right.
it was a fair distance across, but still, like, I mean, I remember, like, I think that
It was
we
like
could, like,
30 feet.
I think that we tried, like, sending Morse code with flashlights and stuff like that. And yeah, at one point in time, we set up a little intercom system, and it didn't work from your house to my house, but it did work. We used it as a way to get my attention when you would come over. You'd open the garage door, my garage door, and you'd push the little intercom button. And I could hear it over the stereo, which I was usually playing in my bedroom loud because it was 1990. And so, yeah, that's what I remember of those houses.
Keith, I feel like right now we should talk about how we don't need to rush this. I think we should make this into a 3-episode arc because there's too much to cover.
I mean, I'm fine with having it go longer. I'm just not sure this is interesting.
No, it's very interesting.
Well, it's fun for me.
It was like this is what's crazy in that I've talked about it on the show before. Is it was unimaginable that we were like best friends. We were super connected, and then you moved across the alley. And so, like, it was just bedlam all the time.
I mean, it was fun.
What came from that was the full contact tennis.
Oh, there you go. Way to bring it back around.
See, I
No, I forgot how we even got on there.
So we would usually have friends over from church, which was Larry and
Feisch,
Pooch, and Feisch.
Yeah.
Feisch ended up being the bass player of the Smiley Kids.
Mm-hmm.
Larry he ran sound for Exhumator at first, and it was like in an early incarnation of Exhumator called Hellbender, right? We did one song, or Naked Fish.
He was definitely, he played drums early on in the, I don't know what we were called back then, but.
Yeah, I think had played like in middle school. Like where you know that it was percussion. He was not so good at the trap kit. And if you're playing with a bunch of dummies like you and I, you have to have a solid drummer.
A good drummer, yeah.
And we did not. We did not, like with Larry.
I mean, so again, this is probably 1990.
Mm-hmm.
None of us knew what we were doing. Again,
No.
kind of like the snowboarding. You went out and bought a guitar, and you were the first person to do it. Mm-hmm. And we hadn't done anything else. And so then it was kind of like, well, I guess I'll go buy a bass guitar. And Larry was like, I guess I'll use the drum kit at the church.
Yeah, I feel like I was pretty manipulative. Like, I feel like I kept just bugging you about it. Like, let's start a band. Let's start a band, dude.
Well, it sounded fun.
But, so the full contact tennis.
Yes, back to full contact tennis.
We had a tennis court at part of the Dam East, which was the townhome complex we belonged to or we lived in. And then what described full contact tennis?
Right. So the four of us usually would each get a racket.
Yeah.
And we would spread a bunch of balls around the court. And so like we would go when the courts were empty. So I think it might have even been like at the end of the season when they took the nets down and stuff like that.
I remember racking myself on them.
On a net, okay.
Yeah, but maybe not.
So maybe they just weren't. They weren't well. I mean, honestly, how well used are tennis courts in anybody's apartment complex or whatever?
They were not very well used, and I think
Right.
we would wait until night because we didn't want to get busted.
Right. But anyway, so we just spread balls around the court, and then what I remember is the four of us would start in the center of the court, and the winner was the first person to get outside the court, feet on the ground outside the court, and everybody else could use the balls or the rackets in any way to stop you from getting outside the court, outside the chain link fence. And so the gate was an option, but obviously people are going to be guarding the gate pretty well. So usually you would try and go over the top of the chain link fence. And a lot of times people would get like kind of up, and then you'd be whacking at somebody's ankle with the tennis racket or throwing a ball at them. Or their fingers,
just
yes.
smashing the hell out of each other's fingers with a tennis racket.
Basically, it was just really stupid because we were bored living in a Denver suburb. Like
We kept playing it though. It was fun enough.
I mean, okay, newspaper golf.
Newspaper golf.
I mean, there you
play
go.
Newspaper golf with me?
Yes, I played newspaper golf with you. We didn't play newspaper golf very many times, but
So, newspaper golf was the actual golf club set, which wasn't a set. It was just my aunt. My aunt was a really good golfer. She almost went pro. And one summer, she was like, hey, I'm going to teach you how to golf. So she took me to the golf course that was next to my grandma's and like taught me how to play. And we just scavenged clubs from the basement. So they could have been my grandfather's. I know some of them are ladies' clubs because they say like Lady Footjoy or something on them. And then, my uncles and stuff. And there, do you remember the bag? It's like that bright lemon yellow bag.
Yeah.
It's right over there. It's still
Nice.
there.
Nice. And if I'm not mistaken, there's a golf club in there that was responsible for naming 5-iron.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So still, or in its earliest form, it belonged to my uncles or whatever. But then I had it. I took it back to Denver with me, and I was like, "This is great. I'm gonna play golf because it was fun." But I couldn't afford to play golf, so I had this idea of taking an entire Sunday newspaper and just scattering it around this field that was near our house, which was mowed. It was like grassy field. It was like a park without any forethought. They were just like,
Yeah. It was just a big
somebody's
grassy
gonna
field.
mow that thing. So I would just then run like a maniac and impale the pieces of newspaper, right?
Right.
With
So,
the
yeah,
golf clubs, trying
so it
to
was-
collect them.
Like, do you remember the old school, like, litter people who had, like, the spike and they would try and spike
Yes.
litter? It was kind of like that, except you were using a golf club and you were doing an overhand swing,
Yes.
like trying to
Like-
get
like a
the newspaper.
tomahawk.
Yeah, to try and get all the newspaper onto the shaft of the golf club.
And what was it? Was it a contest, or was I just like, "Hey, do this with me"? It's
I don't remember. I don't know if there was a scoring system, so I don't think it was a contest. Again, it's suburban boredom. I mean, this is okay. 1990 till 1996, which is when 5-iron started. Or let's go to like 1994 when Eximator started. This was that entire time. It was like during the week you'd go to school. Like I'd started college or whatever. I think you were still in high school at that time, early.
Yeah.
And then in the evening, you'd have to go to work or whatever, and then come home and eat dinner or whatever, and blah blah blah. Weekends were always like ride your skateboard for a little bit, play some stupid game like newspaper golf or full contact tennis, watch Headbangers Ball or MTV Raps or 120 Minutes, maybe go to the
we
mall.
watched it every week.
Headbangers
You and I
Ball?
watched Headbangers Ball
Every week?
Yes, we did every
Like,
week. And why?
Why?
Yeah.
Well, because it was awesome.
No, it wasn't.
Why?
Because it was just glam metal. We always wanted to wait for the triple thrash threat.
Well, I remember the Triple Thrash threat for sure.
And we were told that Vengeance was going to have a video on there, and Deliverance.
Which Deliverance did get shown
They did.
once.
We saw it.
Yeah. I don't think
It was
Vengeance
cool.
ever did.
No.
But you can buy the Hot Metal 4 video cassette, which
Yes.
I still have a copy of somewhere.
Good. This is good.
But yeah, no, every Friday night. So it was like for the evenings, the weekend evenings, it was always like go to the mall, walk around the mall, maybe see a movie, maybe go to the arcade. Then if it was Friday night, watch MTV Raps. If it was Saturday night, watch Headbangers Ball. If it was Sunday night, watch 120 Minutes / Alternative Nation. And then maybe watch a movie afterwards.
And you had a Nintendo.
And I had a Nintendo.
And I wasn't allowed to. And I apologize because there was times when I became obsessive.
That's not a problem.
Okay.
Do you
I
remember-
would like play Super Mario Brothers or Zelda for like 12 straight hours at your house.
I was just listening to the new Deliverance album or whatever.
So the other thing is we did watch a movie about 100 times. What movie?
Well, I think there's a couple that qualify, but Pee Wee Herman's Big Adventure,
Yes,
Blues Brothers,
absolutely.
Real
We watched
Genius.
Pee-wee's Big- yes, all of those, probably 100 times each. For sure. Definitely Pee-wee's Big Adventure. I watched it with my kids. I was texting you about it.
Yes.
And I was just like, they're like, Dad, how do you know what he's going to say ahead of time? And I was like, you
'Cause I've seen it.
amateurs.
So we've gone to the Cabazon Dinosaurs a couple times, and one fairly recently, but
You
Just
did
like-
a vacation based on Pee-wee's Big Adventure, didn't you?
no.
Oh, just that part.
Well, yeah, like so we probably 2 years ago or something like that. We
Yeah.
went to Los Angeles I had gone to LA because I had to do work there for a company I was working for that I no longer work for. And it was a dumb trip, but that's a whole different story. But Aaron came with me and we had fun. It was dumb of them to send me. Then we went back for just vacation after that. And we were like, well, let's drive out to Palm Springs. And we stopped at the Cabazon Dinosaurs and we actually recreated the photo of Pee-wee and Simone in the mouth of the dinosaur. Because you can walk up into the mouth.
You can.
Yes.
Can you watch the sunrise?
I think it's probably closed at that time, at that hour. But just probably a month ago, we went to Palm Springs on vacation and we stopped and we couldn't go inside the dinosaurs because they were closed, but we were there not long after sunrise and we took some pictures of ourselves at the base.
Did you ask Erin about her big butt?
The trip before, yes.
Everyone I know has a big butt.
Right.
Did you
Let's
meet
talk about
anyone
your big
named
butt.
Andy?
No, there was no Andy, and there was no Bone, which is Andy's food. Andy's food was you know what Andy's food you know what Andy's food would be at the Cabazon Dinosaurs?
What?
The Burger King that's there. There's a Burger King.
Burger King?
That's Andy's food.
Oh,
No,
the bone is Andy's
the
food.
Bone. No, everything important in my life shattered when I learned that the Bone was not Andy's food. Just
Everyone that's listening, this is like there are thousands of great things about Keith Hoerig, but like one of the most endearing things. What are you drinking, dude? Surge?
No, yeah. It's Jolt. Remember when we used to? That was what we used to do when we watched Headbangers Ball. Was drink Jolt.
Or go see Mortal Enemy. Drink Jolt.
Mortal Enemy. Heck yeah. Right? Gosh. Wow, they were awesome. No, I'm drinking just seltzer water. Lime seltzer water.
Oh my gosh.
I know.
Okay, so this is one of the most endearing things about Keith is that you would start laughing, like have like this giggling fit it could go 4 hours. And you would not stop. Like you would start laughing about something and then just like it was so infectious. Nobody around they couldn't even hear what you were laughing about, but eventually everyone was laughing because you would just do this.
It was something dumb that I was laughing about.
Oh man, but sometimes it was hilarious. But like one time
we were in New Zealand,
driving.
I think.
Yeah, we're in a van. You just are looking out the window and all of a sudden you're like, "Oh, I get it." The bone is Andy's food. And you like just started laughing like your giggling laugh for at least an hour. We were just trying to drag it out of you and also laughing like, what? You go, on Pee-wee's Big Adventure. Andy.
The bone.
The bone is his food. You saw a sign that said Andy's food or something.
That's what we've been talking about. That's what it was. I'd forgotten that part. So yeah, I think we were in New Zealand. I think we were driving around in a van and we'd driven past this sign several times that said Andy's food. And then yes, the character Andy in Pee-wee's Big Adventure, who's Simone's jealous boyfriend.
Yeah, who I don't know who the actor was that played it, but that dude freaking had like some human growth hormone issues.
He was a huge
enormous.
dude.
Is he the guy in? No, it's not the same guy. The guy that's in Raising Arizona.
No, I don't
has
think
the
it's
grenade?
that guy.
Okay,
That's some. Oh, and it's Smalls is his last name in Raising Arizona. We can look it up.
okay.
But
IMDb.
yeah, I'm going to IMDb right now. So we had driven past a sign that said Andy's food several times, and I think people were like, "What is Andy's food? Like, who's Andy and what's his food or whatever?" And we talked about because we'd driven past it like every day for a week or something like that.
Okay.
And finally, I was just like, so there's a scene where Pee-wee and Simone are up in the mouth of the Tyrannosaurus Rex, which is Cabazon Dinosaurs in real life. And Pee-wee says the line that you just said, where Simone is like, I want to go to Paris someday, and Pee-wee's like, but what? Everybody I know has a big butt. Come on, Simone, let's talk about your big butt. And Andy, Simone's jealous boyfriend, has heard this and thinks that there's something going on between Pee-wee and Simone that's more serious than it actually is. So they fall asleep and wait for the sun to come up. And then at sunrise, they leave the dinosaur. And Andy, who thinks there's something else going on, decides he's going to attack Pee-wee. and he goes over to this sign that has these big dinosaur femurs on it and rips one off, and he's going to use the femur as a club to hurt Pee-wee.
Yes.
And so at that time, I was like, I connected the dots that nobody else was willing to connect. The bone
did.
was Andy's food.
You connected the dots as instructed to on Pee-wee's Playhouse.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
La la la. Connect the dots.
That's another show we watched religiously. Like
We
on
sure
Saturday
did.
mornings, I would come to your house and we'd watch Pee-wee's
Pee-wee's
Playhouse.
Playhouse. Yeah.
Dude.
All cast and crew. Let's find out who Andy is.
Okay, he's looking it up, IMDb, and then so many more questions. And this is what's amazing. Go ahead.
His
Did you
name is
find out?
John Harris.
Is he still with us?
He is not. He died in 2005. It looks like Pee-wee's Big Adventure was his
R.I.P..
biggest movie. He was on AWA All-Star Wrestling with Mean Gene Okerlund for a while.
Oh,
We could talk about wrestling. We used to watch wrestling.
Well, you did. You tried to make me watch it, and I was like, it's not real. But you tried to convince me that it was.
I mean, to a degree, real. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
There is some dude. He was like, his quote was like, "Hey, you can't fake a body slam." True, but I just think it was choreographed.
Well, for
And,
sure.
You know, like,
And I think the winners and
definitely.
losers are chosen beforehand and stuff like that.
Yes,
For sure.
it's all choreographed. Like all the moves, they work it out and stuff. And I think there's springs under those stages. You know, like it's meant
Possibly.
to sound loud.
Yeah.
But they
and I
know
mean,
how to fall. They're like professional stuntmen.
also, like, I have not seen any wrestling since 1992 or something like that, 94.
However, though, it is fun to believe it.
Sure.
It was really fun then.
There is a documentary that came out several years ago called Beyond the Mat that is mostly about Jake the Snake Roberts.
Yeah.
That is, it's a good movie, but it's kind of sad because basically Jake the Snake had a serious drug problem at the time. I don't know how he is now, but basically he was traveling from town to town and wrestling for enough money to get his next fix. Is how I remember.
crank.
Yeah, that's how I remember the movie. I could be wrong, but
Yeah. That's basically what it's like being in Five Arm Frenzy.
I mean,
now.
it's
So
kind
you're
of
not missing anything.
it's kind of what it's like being in a band. You just might maybe replace the crack part with something different, maybe food money, enough for a burrito.
Yeah. Like we had a Kickstarter and barely anybody gave anything. It was like they gave us a thimble and a
Whatever.
crack pie.
Whatever.
Did you see the last
Yes. Oh, I don't know if I saw
Kickstarter?
your
I'm
last one,
embarrassed, dude.
I saw one that was huge.
$270,000. Which sounds like a lot, but after you pay off all the taxes and then you pay Kickstarter and then you pay off everybody's stuff, it's like $10,000 a piece.
Well, and even if you personally were able to get all of that money, you yourself, and
Yeah.
not owe any taxes on it, that I mean, you could buy, an eighth of a house in Denver.
I can never go back. Never go back. I do blame Amy for that.
Just today I submitted to play at a music festival that happens in Chaffee Park right across the street from your old house. So
Yeah. We lived on a park. Now, when we lived there, there was like, you could go find needles in the park and people would shoot each other in the alley behind us. So we had a newborn and we're like, we got to get out of here.
I mean,
But I was like, don't sell it. And the last time it sold was like 5 years ago and it was for $650,000.
so I mean, I don't want to say that it's a common thing, but in the bushes on our property, I've found needles. We found spent bullet casings, a couple times on the sidewalk right outside our house.
Jeez.
So, life in the big city, I guess.
Life in the big city.
But
Jeepers. Hey, I wanted to talk about this is one thing that is completely missing from Fiverr now. Like, you can hear it on our first live album for sure, because we put it all as a bonus track. But like, you and I, we had honed our skills at comedy. It was like
Banter?
improv comedy, basically, like our banter, just going back and forth, where I would just say something ridiculous and you would always just kind of be the straight man. And it was incredible. Like, I feel like we were so funny. And now it's just like me saying ridiculous things and everybody else just trying to back away from the microphones because they're just like, we're going to get canceled.
I don't know. Depends what you're saying.
Oh, man.
I don't think saying saying that a song is as old as time or whatever the heck you said before, you said that's not going to get you canceled.
No.
That's
I know.
Before Kingdom of the Dinosaurs or whatever BS that was.
We were so good at it, though. And then, like, the other guys would, Dennis would chime in, Scott would chime in. Sonny, who's the funniest dude in the band, won't, like, he hides behind the horn players. He won't even come out. Then if you meet him, he's hilarious. But, like, Micah every once in a while chiming in. And now it's just like, hey, guys, what if? And they're just like, crickets. Dennis tries. Sometimes, like, we all have on and off nights. But, like, you and I, we were just always, doing well. I miss that.
I mean, always ready to say something stupid.
I miss it.
It was a good time.
Yeah. So, let's talk about me talking you into being in a band. Was it both our ideas, or I feel like I just was like always pushing for this, and I feel guilty about it.
No, I don't think so. I mean, I don't remember exactly, but I mean, it's not like, being in a band. I mean, we always wanted to be in a band. It sounded cool. I'm not sure. I think that taking the first step of actually buying some sort of instrument or whatever, that was definitely you. And I'm not sure I would have done that if you didn't do it. But I remember how Exhumator started. So pre-Exhumator, there was a band, quote unquote, called Naked Fish that was me and you, and we tried to make a song. The major instruments were your acoustic guitar and pots and pans.
I do remember that.
We did that in my basement at like 3 a.m. And we woke up my mom, who thought it was funny, but
your mom thought it was funny?
Yeah, I mean, yes.
Gosh, your mom was so cool, dude.
But as far as when Exhumator started for real, you had a friend. It wasn't PJ. Was it PJ?
No, it wasn't PJ. I can't remember the name.
I can't remember that guy's name. Anyway, so he worked at not Anthony's Pizza.
Anthony's Pizza.
Anthony's Pizza.
Anthony's Pizza.
And
it was like on.
It's not on 6th Avenue.
8th?
No, it's on 6th.
Was it on 6th? Okay, yes,
yeah.
You're right.
But I'm not sure it's called
Anthony's. Down there, and we
Anthony's.
could walk over there. I think it was called Anthony's.
No, Anthony's is a bigger chain. It was called like Antonio's or something.
Okay.
Anyway, it doesn't matter. Some pizza place, and he washed dishes. And he had this wood grain PV Patriot guitar that he decided he wanted to sell. And you knew him from high school.
Yeah.
And we went, and on his break, he went out the back door because he wasn't supposed to be doing it, I think, because he was on the job. And he sold you this PV Patriot in the back alley behind this pizza place on 6th Avenue in Capitol Hill in Denver, Colorado. And that was the birthplace of it all. And so, no, was yours a Patriot?
Yeah.
Okay, so
no, your base was a Patriot.
My base was a Patriot.
T150, I think is what it's called.
T150, yes. So then I started. Oh, go ahead.
I chased that thing. Like, it's like I want that guitar back so bad. I got rid of it because I was, like, it was the first guitar I had ever gotten, and I was just like, it's a PV. Like, all PV amps and stuff were garbage. I say that, and behind me, you can't see it because I got that tarp up, but I still have that PA we got from Micah's church.
I mean, that PA that Micah used with that PV practice amp, that was what he played in Exhumator and 5-iron
for a long time.
It sounded awesome.
He played through a PA.
A PA, yes.
He had a practice amp that he used for the distortion, and then plugged it into this PA that we bought from his church for $200. Hey, I still owe you guys $50 each. You and Micah and Nate.
Okay.
Because I have it.
I don't remember that we sold it to you, but
you didn't. I just slowly ended up with it.
That you've assumed, maybe just settle up with Micah. I think I'm probably okay.
No, man,
but
$50.
I'm sure we'll talk about this later. But my first band after 5-iron was with my wife Erin, and so it was our first band together, and she played 4 different instruments, and we were like, how are we going to put 4 instruments into 4 separate amps? And partially because of what Mike had done, we got a 4-channel PA system and ran all 4 of them into that, and it worked great.
Dude.
So
That's
it was
awesome.
a piano, a ukulele, an auto harp, and a guitar, I think.
That's so cool.
Yep.
So was your bass a PV2?
My bass,
PV
my first.
Patriot?
So after you bought this guitar, you didn't have an amp at all, and so you were practicing unplugged. And
I think I got like one of those teeny Gorilla, like a 30-watt amp or
you
something
did
like that.
you did eventually, but you didn't have it at first.
Okay.
I don't remember exactly, but so yes, then at some point I bought a PV Patriot. I don't even remember who I bought it from or how I got it, but like you, I don't want the guitar because of anything about the guitar other than it was my first guitar, and I'm like, it'd be cool to have my first guitar, but
And you picked bass because I had guitar.
well, and it's not like it's not like when I used to like pretend to be in Striper, I pretended to be Tim Gaines. It's not like I was pretending to be Oz Fox. So I was pretending to be the bass player even back then.
Very pragmatic, Keith.
Right? I mean, come on. It was a long time. It was before. It wasn't because it was the only thing that was there. It was like, yeah, this is cool. Tim Gaines was cool, right? You know.
Tim Gaines was and is cool.
Right?
So cool.
So, yes, I bought the PV Patriot. That's what I played through all of Exhumator and even the start of 5-Iron. I remember by the time I got rid of it, I had covered it completely with these flower stickers from Moe's Bagels. I think Brad briefly worked at Moe's Bagels, which was also off 6th Avenue right behind our house.
It was right next to the original Qdoba.
Yes.
Yep.
And when 5-Iron first started, a lot of us lived in this house right off 6th Avenue on Capitol Hill. And right behind it, there was this Moe's Bagel Shop, and Brad worked there. I want to say somebody else worked there. I know Ravi and Santa worked for a little while at the Baskin Robbins that was there.
They probably also worked at the Moe's.
They probably did.
got fired and then went to Baskin Robbins.
Well, and, I mean, this is like knowing that Ian McKay and Henry Rollins worked together at Haagen-Dazs in Washington D.C. Like it's like the early places that you worked when you were first starting bands. Like those guys.
What's crazy about that house, though, man, is like Ravi is like a famous
He's
artist.
a totally famous artist.
And Andy, like
He's a famous
Santa,
comedian with a TV show.
Right, TV show. He's been on the Tonight Show, all this stuff.
Yep.
And then stupid 5-Iron.
And then 5-Iron. Yeah.
Yeah. We'll make it someday.
I'll bet you will.
Yeah. So you had this PV Patriot bass.
And then I bought a practice amp. And then I remember 1 year, sometime after 1990, because we were living, this is when I was living right across the alley from you. My mom and sister bought a bigger amp for me. It was still technically a practice amp, but it was a big practice amp. I have a feeling you probably helped.
Two bass horns, like two 16-inch woofers in it.
I never confirmed this, but I'm sure you helped them pick it out.
I don't know.
Oh, sure.
This is the thing we're brushing over, though, is that like Larry drove us to all these things.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We didn't have cars.
We did not have a car. You didn't get your driver's license until you were 26.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And, like I didn't have a car. I couldn't afford one. So I did get my driver's license at 17 because Larry took me. He was the only kid we knew that had a car. So he drove me to get, down to 6th Avenue to get that guitar. He drove you to get your bass. I remember it was somewhere down south. And then, like he would drive us to all these things. He drove us to snowboarding on the Cherry Creek Dam, like drove to where the gate came down and then we all walked out there.
Was Larry there that day?
Yeah, I remember it that way. So who knows?
Huh. But I thought we just walked there, but
he also lived with us. He lived with us in that house until he was done. Sick of hearing us practice all the time or how insane it got in that house because we would just like homeless people. We would live with homeless people.
Yeah, we would let homeless people come and live
Often.
with us. So that the homeless kids coming and staying with us or whatever, like it was very common to wake up and have there be somebody asleep on what was supposed to be the dining room, but it was just like this empty. It was basically the stereo room, and have there be like. We had a couch in there, and so like there would be somebody asleep on the couch and one or two people asleep on the floor, and not really
And
know
then
who.
Andy moved in there.
Andy moved in
Santa.
there too.
Not
Yes.
Andy Verdecchio. Andy
Although
Verdecchio.
Andy
Yeah, I
Verdecchio
think
did
he
live there.
You're right.
Yeah, eventually
And
he
then
lived there,
Santa.
and Scott lived there. Scott was one of the
Santa
first
is-
ones.
By the way, guys, Andrew Orvidal, who is on the show Those Who Can't, which is on the True Network, and he's also got 2 comedy albums out, which are just amazing. They're so funny. And he's been on the Tonight Show, etc. Yes, go ahead.
I was just so yeah. It was not common. It was not uncommon to wake up and have there be 3 or 4 people who you had no clue who they were sleeping in what was supposed to be the dining room, and then you'd kind of step over them on your way to work. This was when I was still cleaning carpets, and so I would leave, take and catch the bus and go to work. But I mean, I think the things that I remember from that house that were like the craziest was the night. So we had a neighbor who did not like us. And she didn't like the noise, but it wasn't the band that bothered her. She was like she would come over, and she would come over early in the morning, and so usually I was the one who was up getting ready for work, and she would knock on the door, and I'd talk to her, and she's like, "You guys are way too loud," and I'm like, "I'm sorry, like we want to have band practice here," and she's like, "I'm not talking about band practice. Your band practice ends by 9:00. It's no big deal." And then I'm like, "Well, then what are you talking about?" And she's like, "There were people hanging out on your porch smoking and talking until like 3 a.m. last night," and I'm like, they were talking. My bedroom window is literally like 25 feet from the porch. Yours is, 200 feet, and they weren't keeping me up. So what's going on with you? And she's like, "Well, I just have very sensitive ears." And I was just like, okay, well, I mean, maybe this is your problem, not ours, but I'll tell them. And so, I mean, I remember the people who smoked, I told them, and I was like, "Can you guys please hang out like in the back or whatever?" And they were like, "Yeah, sure." And we stopped getting complaints from her. But then there was one night when we played with the band Sometime Sunday.
Yeah.
And we played with the band Sometime Sunday in Greeley, if I remember correctly, which is about an hour and a half north of Denver. And we were like, "Hey, do you guys have a place to sleep?" And they were like, "No." And we were like, "Well, you can come and crash at our house." So we all drove down. The show ended. It was a Christian show, so it probably ended at 11. But then we all probably went to IHOP or whatever, and then after that drove an hour and a half to get back to Denver. So we get back, and we're watching TV or whatever, and all of a sudden Mikey from Sometime Sunday stands up and he's like, "Fireworks." And I'm like, "What?"
Oh, yes, I remember this.
He's like, "Fireworks. We drove through Wyoming. Fireworks are legal. We got fireworks." And he runs out to his van. He comes back in with this enormous box of fireworks. And I'm like, "Dude, our neighbors hate us. Please don't light off any fireworks." And he's like, "No, dude, I promise. This one, it doesn't have sparks. It doesn't make any noise.
Yes.
It's like, basically, he's like, it's just like a
Yes.
smoke bomb, basically. It's just a smoke bomb."
This is what he told us. Yes.
I'm like, "Okay, fine. Go light off the smoke bomb if it'll make you happy. Save the rest for..."
You were always the adult in our band.
Well, I mean, what maybe.
Yes, like you were always just like, well, like the dad, just like, well, you can let it off if it's just gonna smoke, and then we're all gonna go inside.
Right. Well, so I'm like, just save the fireworks, light them off some other time, whatever. But so he's like, "No, don't worry. This one's not going to piss off your neighbors. It's going to be fine." I'm like, "Okay." So he goes outside. He lights this firework. This firework, its entire job, it was not to make sparks. It was not to make fire. It was not to make smoke. It was to make the single loudest explosion you could legally make without having an actual stick of dynamite.
Not legally in Colorado.
Well, not legal in our
Wyoming.
state. Yeah, only legal in Wyoming.
Yes, people that were like, Dick Cheney should be elected. Those people were like, let's make a firework that represents that.
So there's this enormous boom. I see lights go on all over our house. They're laughing and giggling and run back into the house. I run into the house. Everybody's like, "Turn out the lights and pretend we're asleep." So we did. The neighbor never actually came over and talked to me about that until like
probably 'cause she was
several
deaf.
months later. Well, several months later, she was like, "I've put up with so much from you guys, like blah, blah, blah. You light off fireworks under my bedroom window." I don't know.
She's right.
Most of the other neighbors liked us. But
It was on. So if you're looking at the house, the left side, it was
yes.
that house, right?
Left
Yes.
and upstairs.
Yeah, that poor lady.
Yeah.
And then did Sixpence stay at our house?
I don't think so, but we did play with them at the Crossroads Garage.
Yeah, didn't they park their RV and like run shore power up to our house, use the shower and stuff? I
Maybe,
vaguely remember
probably,
this.
probably.
Maybe because I still have a crush on Lee.
I mean, there was a time where like Christian bands playing in Denver, there was a good chance that somehow one of the 8 of us, and that's another thing, the band was huge. There were eight people, so there was probably somebody that was somehow connected to the show.
Yeah.
If we weren't actually playing it.
Yeah, 5 of us lived there. Micah
did
Leonor,
not,
and Dennis never did.
Yes, that's correct.
But they would often invite people to our house. like Santa got there because
Of Micah.
He was just like, hey, we knew him. So there would be no just like, what? This guy, he was like, he was homeless, wasn't he? He was living on the street. He ran away from home or
semi-homeless, yeah.
Semi-homeless.
I think he maybe spent like a night in Skyline Park or something.
Okay, so not really. But he did come live with us and stayed. He lived there past when we all moved out.
Well, and I mean, yeah, like he moved in and it was going to be temporary. And then he was like, he got a job. He was like, I can pay rent. And we're like, yeah, welcome aboard. Welcome to this craziness.
Gosh, dang that house, man. It was, nothing was level in it. And the what was our rent? $700, $730?
$865, wasn't it?
Oh, was it?
$865?
I'm
Isn't
sure
that right?
you remember. Yes, sure. I just, like there was 8 of us in that house, 7 or 8 of us. Right?
Yeah.
We all paid
so there was
just like over $100.
Yep. And I mean, but before that, there was 4 official people with another 1 or 2 often living in a 1-bedroom apartment that cost $265 a month in Aurora.
Yes.
But so I mean, like for like the Denver Christian ska community or whatever, there was like that house was like the equivalent of like the Minor Threat house or whatever, like what like where like the famous picture of them all sitting on the steps of that house.
Yeah.
Or like, I mean, I think that at like most, or like Canterbury Gardens in Los Angeles, where a bunch of like all the Go-Go's lived and stuff like that. Like, there's always like these little communities where people live together because rent is cheap. That was our place where we all lived together because rent was cheap.
And I thought about this a couple weeks ago. There was another ska band in town called the Vengers. Mm-hmm. They were called the Scavengers, and then they changed their name to the Vengers. And they were like two-tone, like second wave ska, when ska wasn't popular. Like they had been just eking it out for 10 years, and then here comes these chuckle fucks in this Christian ska band. Right. And we eclipsed them, and I feel like terrible about it. Like maybe because they were established, so they charged money to play shows, and we would just take any show anywhere. Like Dan Steinberg would be like, "Do you want to open for Les and Jake?" And we'd be like, "Yeah."
Yes.
How much?
I'll give you $50.
Yep.
That was so like for an opening band back then for to be announced productions, $50 was the common. Mm-hmm. Like the common guarantee. And if it turned out like, so he's like, I'll give you $50, but if something didn't go so well at the door that night, then he'd be like, oh, I'm only going to give you $10, then I'll make up for it some other show. And I mean, there were a lot of people in town didn't think that he made it up. In my opinion, mostly he did. Like in the fact that he let us open for those bands, like that, it made us, like I feel like even just playing with Les and Jake, I think as a Christian band became better Christians from hanging out with them, like just seeing how they treated their fans versus all the bands that you and I had seen being in a metal band. We were just like, because I remember the metal bands, it was just like every metal band was so fucking cocky. They were so just out of control. Even the local bands, just like it would be their second show and they'd just be like so cocky. And then here's us, and we're just like, ska is fun. And then we played with Les and Jake, and we're like,
Oh my gosh, those guys.
yeah, this is they. I think you're right. I think that it's kind of like this is how you do it, and it's. I don't think it was our first experience with it because I think like talking about the band Mortal Enemy that you were talking about, which they were a local Denver Christian thrash metal band, but they were super cool guys. And then
So
also
John Thomas, who became your boss,
who was my boss for a while, yes,
married a girl I almost married.
yes, yes.
But who else was in that band was Christopher Topher, who went on to start Mineral.
Mineral, yeah, the band Mineral.
Yeah, I mean, like insane. This is the thing about Denver, and I'm pretty sure it's still its way. Denver hates bands that aren't jam bands. Like they just like if you're a jam band, you will survive there forever in the jam band circus. But like if you are good, you got to leave to get popular.
I mean, I think that there's a lot. So first of all, like I think that every music scene is in turmoil right now because of COVID, and they're just now starting to come out of stuff. So I don't even know what the Denver scene is like. And also, you know, I'm about to become 50, and my opinion of the scene is different than it was when I was 21.
Sure.
And probably in good and bad ways. But I mean, there's definitely bands like, I mean, there's a band like, so the Lumineers, who are technically a Denver band. They're about to
They moved there, though.
They moved here from New York.
New York. They made it, and then we're like, you know where we'd like to live? This place where everybody's cool and has dogs and does yoga.
Yeah, and
Smokes weed.
Yes, and smokes weed. And yeah, they're headlining Coors Field here this summer. And that's pretty crazy.
Right.
I mean, yeah, I don't know.
But like historically, bands that like people that were famous would move there, you know, like Dan Fogelberg or
John Denver.
John Denver moved there, you know, like because it was cool.
Yeah.
But bands that made it or people that made it, like Judy Collins and Earth, Wind, and Fire, they had to get out. They had to go to like LA, New York. And then even, you know, like even when we were coming up, Spell. Remember that band?
Oh, yeah.
Jeez. Yeah, they got signed to, what was the label that Nirvana was on?
Well, you're thinking of David Geffen, but no, they were on Island.
Oh, were they?
Spell was on Island, I think.
Okay. And I mean, there were some really good bands. This is not talking crap about the Denver scene. There were really good bands. They just could not go anywhere because Denver is like an island. It's not easy to tour out of, and the scene just kind of isolates itself. People just wanted to hear jam bands. Like, can you sound like the Grateful Dead? How long? For 26 minutes? Do that.
Right.
That's what we want.
So, I mean, yeah, I think that there may be some truth to that. I want to go back to another cool band, actually, that I think that we learned a lot from, especially you and I, not necessarily Five Iron as whole, but was the band Mortal, because they used to tour to Denver, and they were one of the few Christian bands that would come to Denver often, and they were groundbreaking musically speaking, even like they weren't like completely original, but they were in the Christian scene. They were like amazingly innovative.
I would argue with that. I'd say they were I mean, like there's like secular bands you could be like they sound like them. But
I mean, you
exactly.
can trace.
They were
no,
different.
not exactly. You can trace some influences to like KMFDM and Nine Inch Nails and things like that. But they came out after shows and they hung out with the kids who came to see them, and they were totally humble and cool about it. And now Jerome's in Switchfoot.
It's still the same guy, like still humble and cool about it.
Yeah. But so going back to the Vengers, I also like, while I don't know how they felt about it, and I'm not even sure in their eyes we were really even a quote unquote ska band, because they were very two-tone purists from what I remember.
They were second wave, which I like to call the first wave of cultural appropriation.
Yeah, there you go. But I mean, they were super supportive of our band. They gave us opening spots all the time. But in terms of like feeling bad for them or whatever, there was a show, and this was not through no fault of their own. They offered us an opening spot at the Boulder Theater. Do you remember this show?
Yes.
They offered us an opening spot at the Boulder Theater. They were going to play. We showed up, and the promoter was like, maybe it wasn't the Boulder, maybe it was the Fox. I think it was the Fox Theater in Boulder.
There were two theaters in Boulder.
Well, the Boulder is huge, so I think it was the Fox Theater.
Okay.
So we showed up, and the promoter was like, okay, doors are at 8. You guys go on at 8:30, play for half an hour or whatever. So we're like, okay. So doors were at 8. Nobody was there. We went on at 8:30. Nobody was there. We played for half an hour. Nobody was there. Like, seriously, I think we played for 2 people.
Remember this.
Then
Yes.
the Vengers showed up at 9:30 for their 10:30 slot. And they're like, what time are you guys going on? And we're like, we just played. And they're or like, we played like an hour ago. And they're like, what? And they're like, yeah, the promoter told us we had to play now. And they're like, that's not the way night was supposed to go. And I even think then they were like, do you want us to cut like 20 minutes out of our set and you guys can play a 20-minute set? And we were just like, no, it's okay. Don't worry about it. Like, so, I mean, yeah, those guys were super cool.
They were super cool. But you could tell that they were tired at that point, though. You know, that they had been like doing it by themselves, kind of carrying the mantle of ska for like 10 years when nobody gave a shit about it. You know, like, yeah, they were just like, I loved this in the 80s. Let's keep it going. Kept it going. And they were so good.
They were good.
And then here comes, you know, these Chuckle Fox and Five Iron.
Right.
So I don't know. I hope they don't resent us for becoming popular or doing well. I think they were just burned out too.
Mm-hmm.
But hey, we got to wrap it up. And I hate this because this is the best part of my day so far.
I'm sorry you've had a crappy
Talking
day.
to you.
Cool.
Well, I miss you, man.
I miss you too.
Can we do more? Can we do more of these?
Yes.
Okay, I think we should just do like a 3-episode arc or 15-episode arc, depending on how much time you have. Or we just talk about this and talk about whatever. But
Okay.
there's so much we didn't cover about Fiverr. It's mostly just kind of coming up.
So,
Yeah.
do we want to reschedule something different, or are we going to just keep going and you just said that so you can edit?
No, we got to, because this is what's crazy is, so Joe was going on vacation, and I was like, okay, he always does interviews. Like he'll call guys in his band. He did Jason Carson, and then he did Nate. So I was like, well, okay, I'll do interviews. And I reached out to you and Micah, and both of you were like, yeah, I can do it on this day. So I've got to interview
got
Micah
Micah. Okay,
in
cool.
like 10 minutes, but I got to also throw my kids in bed.
Yeah, cool.
So,
Well,
but
yeah,
this is good. If you can do it, if you can make the time, just let me know.
I can definitely do it. We'll do it again.
Okay, my schedule's kind of opened up because I moved to I do 2 12s and 1 16 a week, which is awful. It's like the worst days at work, but then I have 4 days off. So
That's cool.
it's good.
Yeah, well, yeah. Just shoot me some dates. We're about to get busy playing shows, but
Okay.
So, but we'll figure some time out.
Okay, and we have Skype now. We can do this.
Yes.
So just all you got to do is just save your
Yeah, I'll send you
save,
this MP3.
like, yeah, just send me an MP3.
Do you want a wave? Do you want high quality wave?
High quality wave. No,
Wave.
an MP3 is fine.
All right.
Okay, well, I want to say thank you so much, Keith, and I miss you.
I miss you too, man. We'll do this again.
And I love you so much. This is awesome because mostly all of our conversations just texting or sending memes with Chris Baker.
Yes.
And it's not like the most quality conversation.
Well, this is good, and I miss you too, and I love you too. And yes, let's do it again.
Okay,
All right, cool, man.
very good.
Love you too.
All right, see ya.
See ya.
For more shows like this one, visit rockcandyrecordings.com.